Sulukuyan, ito pong APEC Summit 2022 o ang pagtitipon ng mga pinuno ng iba't ibang member economies sa Asia-Pacific region sa Thailand. Ilang punto ang binigyang-diin ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. At sa kanyang talumpati, kabilang na ang food security, global health system at ang climate change. At upang alamin natin ang pananaw ng isang eksperto kaugnay dyan, makakasama natin si Professor Froilan Kalilong, political analyst at faculty member ng UST Political Science Department. Magandang araw po, Prof.
Magandang araw po at salamat po sa imbitasyon at magandang araw po sa ating mga tagapanood.
Kumusta po ang assessment ninyo sa ginanap na APEC Summit? Satisfied ba kayo sa mga isyung binigyan-diin ng Pangulong Marcos Jr.?
Well, if we're going to look at it, there are really many pressing problems, but I believe yung mga tinalakay niya, these are, I think, the three most important issues na kinakaharap natin ngayon. And I'm referring, of course, to food security, energy security, as well as climate change or climate mitigation or sustainability. So, on that note, I think I'm quite satisfied doon sa mga binanggit niya, no? Halimbawa, doon sa kinakaharap natin ng mga krisis na kung saan sabi nga niya ay kinakailangan ng structural change and at the same time, kinakailangan nating maging innovative. Okay? So I think this is really the call of the times right now, especially we are in an era of rapid and widespread globalization. And I think maganda na tinalakay niya to, no, sa isang pagpupulong kagaya ng APEC because the APEC, as we know it, actually controls, at least I believe around 60% of the world's gross domestic product. So this is a very, very good forum indeed.
Nabanggit din ng Pangulo ang 35% renewable share ng Pilipinas sa energy mix by 2030 at 50% by 2040. Ano po reaksyon niyo dito?
Well, I think this is very, very good. I hope that it will be realized. Siguro kinakailangan talaga natin na magkaroon ng mga alternatibong mekanismo at the same time magkaroon talaga ng mga konkretong hakbang para maisakatuparan na to. And I think right now all the indicators naman are actually present. What we just need to really do is to come up with methods or mechanisms, modalities to harmonize all the efforts. So I'm quite happy that the president is very adamant about this issues kasi nga especially in the long run or in the long term makaka-apekto talaga to sa atin, lalo na dun sa ating hangarin nga ng sustainable development.
Ano pang mga inaasahan ninyong issue na i-raise ng Pangulong Marcos Jr. sa mga susunod na araw at magiging resulta ng pagdalo ng Pangulo sa APEC Summit?
Well, we need to understand kasi the APEC is quite different from the ASEAN kasi ang APEC is purely purely economic talaga, no? So it's not just, of course, it's not just a cultural and a political thing, but more importantly, I think what we need to see here is how the president could actually make use of the leverage na makukuha niya from APEC in order to sustain the efforts para nga maisakatuparan yung ating hangarin dun sa tinatawag nating post-pandemic economic rehabilitation. This is very, very daunting and this is very, very challenging. And I think the president really needs the help and the assistance coming from the economic expertise, of course, of the member states of the APEC in order to make this possible. So I'm expecting that as the president comes back, he will also be enlightening us, okay, as to what are the best practices that are emerging in the world economic order, and at the same time come up with concrete means on how we could benchmark on these best practices para magkaroon tayo ng pattern of development.
Gaano kalaking tulong naman ang inaasang outcome ng APEC Summit sa Pilipinas, considering na bumabangon ang maraming mga bansa dahil pa rin sa pandemya?
Yeah, napakalaki no ng maitutulong ng APEC. Dahil nga sa binanggit ko kanina, hindi lamang ito kasi isang regional bloc, no. It's more about it actually has a bigger clout and a bigger magnitude because it covers countries in the Asia Pacific, including the more powerful countries like Australia, New Zealand, and the United States. So I think this is really gonna be very, very helpful for us, lalo na dun sa aspeto na kung saan makakuha tayo ng mga additional investments which will pump further the creation of jobs and opportunities, which will increase the tax base of the country, which will, of course, be very, very helpful in mitigating the impact of inflation. So ito yung mga inaasahan natin na may mga positibong resulta coming from this trip of our president in Thailand to attend the APEC Summit.
Considering ang ongoing na hidwaan sa pagitan ng Ukraine at ng Russia, tingin nyo magkakaroon ng epekto ito sa kalalabasan po ng APEC Summit?
Well, definitely, isa to sa mga napag-usapan doon sa summit, because as we know it, the energy sector has been rapidly and constantly paralyzed, somehow because of the ongoing strife between Ukraine and Russia. And I think the stance of the APEC, especially the freedom-loving, capitalistic-driven, and democratic societies, nations of the APEC, are actually one with our president in the pursuit of ending this conflict, because this is really a stumbling block towards the post-pandemic economic rehabilitation and development na nakakabagal doon sa proseso nga ng pagbangon ng maraming bansa.
Opo. Nagkaroon ng bilateral meeting ang Pangulong Marcos Jr. with Xi Jinping ng China. Ano po ang inyong nakikitang implication nito? Ito ba ay magandang senyales ng magandang ugnayan ng dalawang bansa?
Yes, actually, I think it's constant with what the president mentioned as a part of his foreign policy, that he would be, or the Philippines, he would like it to be a friend to all and an enemy to none. Okay, so I think what the president is saying here is that we need to maintain good standing friendships anchored on amity and cooperation between and amongst countries, especially yung mga masasabi nating mga makapangyarihang bansa, because China is undoubtedly a regional superpower, okay? And I think we will be needing a lot of support also coming from China, to maintain the fluidity of our economic efforts. So I think maganda na ang presidente natin, ang ating Pangulo, ay nagkaroon ng malapitan na pakikipag-usap sa Pangulo ng bansang China, dahil nga ito ay napakalaki ng maaaring maitulong sa pagtataguyod ng ating ekonomiya, paggawa ng mga trabaho, pagsugpo sa kahirapan, pagkakaroon ng mas mataas na tax base. And I think it is really a matter of how we are going to navigate, our friendship with countries in order to pursue our national interests. Remember that our foreign policy is an extension of our domestic policy. So kung ano yung gusto natin na makuha or makamit domestically, ito ay inilalatag natin on the international level. And I think this cooperation that we're having right now with China, and not only with China, but even with the US, with ASEAN, with APEC and other regional blocs in the world, I think sends a strong message that the president really is not there to antagonize any country, for as long as they are willing to support and adhere to our principles as well as a country.
Ano naman ang Prof, masasabi mo sa mga naging hakbang ng Pangulong Marcos tungkol naman sa pagkikayat sa iba't ibang mga bansa at mga business leaders na mamuhunan na sa Pilipinas?
Well, I think this is a very, very good development as well, ano? Dahil kung titingnan natin, mahalaga na makita natin that we are ready. Okay. Infrastructures-wise, I think the former administration has already set the tone, particularly with the build. You know? So I think the infrastructure is here. We have a better internet connectivity right now. Of course, we have a very, very competent workforce, very, very skilled yung ating mga manggagawa. And of course, di rin natin matatawaran no, yung ating work ethics, you know, as a people, as a country, is also very, very commendable. So in short, I really feel that the Philippines is ready for business, and we can really open our doors for as long as there are opportunities. And I think yung mga recent developments, halimbawa yung pagkakaroon nga natin ng pagsasabatas, halimbawa ng Public Utilities Act, okay, is a step towards opening further our national economy in order to strengthen yung tinatawag nating economic ideals natin, economic measures natin, to make us more economically sound and that our economic fundamentals will be built on better ground. So in this age and era of globalization, talagang kakailanganin natin itong mga suporta coming from other countries.
Maraming salamat, Professor Froilan Calilong, political analyst at a faculty member ng UST Political Science Department.
Maraming
Opo.